Hi, this is Gil Benbrook from Phoenix Stages and TalkingBroadway.com, and I'm here at Arizona Broadway Theater with the leads, the stars of Catch Me If You Can, which runs here in Peoria through August 12th. So let's start first with you, Matthew. Matthew Mello, you play Carl Hanratty, who's the FBI agent in the show. So Catch Me If You Can, it's a relatively new musical, but it really hasn't been done a lot. It had a short Broadway run. But a lot of people will probably be familiar with the title because it was a hit movie. But if somebody doesn't know the show, what would you tell them it's about?
Well, at the core, I think it's a redemption story for Frank Abagnale, who is the con man in the show. He changed his life in the end, and that's a big reason that Steven Spielberg made the film. Is he said, I'd rather want to look at his accomplishments after all the stuff that he did. And I think it's a good way for people who haven't seen the movie. The show is fun, it's exciting, it's got huge dance numbers, but at the core, it's the relationship that Sal, that his character has with his father, and then eventually has with myself. And we end up, becoming good friends in the end. So it's a feel-good story. That has some actual true moments about how this guy lived his life and got away with what he got away with.
And so that's Sal Pavia, who plays Frank Abagnale Jr., who basically is the con man, the guy who goes with a bunch of assumes the different identities, and he's chased by your character, who's the FBI agent, who's after him. As you said, it's an intriguing, fun, upbeat, cat and mouse story with some really big, explosive dance numbers. So, Sal, did you read the autobiography? Did you go back and watch the movie? Is there any other research you did?
Yeah, all of the above. Whenever you do a show, you kind of have to research the time period that the show is set in. So there was a lot of research on that, on, the iconic style that this show brings forward.
Yeah, because it's set in the 1960s.
And it was just such a different time than it is now. And you think about, the part of the show where he's a pilot and the glamour that was behind being a pilot. So it was so interesting to research that kind of stuff.
So Matthew, while Sal plays the flashier of the two characters, your character is the FBI agent who's hunting him throughout the whole show, basically. But you do have this explosive musical number where you just come alive,
I know what you're talking about.
which is a huge crowd pleaser. So with this character, there's obviously a lot to play off of, but what traits do you most identify with the part?
Well, I'm the complete opposite. They don't really go into in the film how secluded he is as a person, but in the musical they do. They mention a lot that about his previous marriage and that he no longer has a wife, and I think just kind of sitting in that and thinking about that before I go on stage helps me a lot, because like I said, in my personal life, I'm the complete opposite.
Sal, your character obviously is a real person. So compared to all the different other parts that you played, you were Link and Hairspray here about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
So how does it compare playing a real life character versus playing a fictionalized character?
I think it kind of all goes back to the research. So what's nice about playing a real character is there is black and white evidence of what this person did, how this person would act in this certain circumstance. So it's, in a way, it kind of makes your job a little easier.
Yeah.
You still have to bring something to the role, but it makes it a little easier to find certain aspects of that character.
In the film, your character is played by Tom Hanks. So, Tom Hanks, multiple Oscar winner. Any trepidation in taking on a part that was so, well immortalized by him in the film?
You want to make it yours. And, the last thing you want is for someone to come up to you and say, hey, good job playing Tom Hanks. Because you want those different moments.
What things make being here at ABT, working here at ABT, different compared to the other experiences?
They say it's Broadway in the desert, and they are not lying.
Yeah.
It is incredible, the craftsmanship of every aspect of this theater. And I think that patronage also needs to be recognized, because we get the opportunity to meet people in the lobby after the show who have just seen it, and they are some of the kindest people that I have ever met. They're just so gracious, and happy to have experienced this, and they're so happy to meet us. They make us feel like celebrities for a little bit. So that's kind of
Plus, we've heard some really good Frank Abagnale stories.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. People who have worked with him,
met him,
lived next door to him.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And again, like if we don't have that contact with him afterwards, we do the show and go home.
What do you hope that people will take away from seeing the show here at ABT?
I think I call it like an escape musical. This is a great place to come and just leave everything else at the door. You come in here and it is entertainment from the second that those lights go up until like we're done taking our bows, and then you get a little bit more entertainment outside when we're talking to you. But it is a perfect opportunity to see some incredible dancing, some incredible singing, this scenic design, the lighting design,
The band. Phenomenal band.
Yeah.
and there's food. You can literally just immerse yourself in entertainment for 4 or 5 hours if you wanted to.
Someone could have had the worst day in the world, but they knew they had these tickets, and they come here and for 2 or 3 hours can just somewhat forget about it and enjoy themselves, have a good meal, have some entertainment, have some laughs,
And see a good show.
and
Yeah.
see a good show.
Well, thanks, guys.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Sal, Matthew,
Yep.
here at ABT. Catch Me If You Can through August 12th.